So today's question, we're going to be looking at what does property or investing in property with shares and via crowdfunding kind of look like, and how much maybe ongoing work and management or maintenance is going to be required from the end investor. Is it hands-off? Is it hands-on? What's it look like, I guess, from when they make the decision to go forward?
It's totally hands-off. We do all the heavy lifting.
Okay.
So, for example, when we're acquiring it and launching on the platform, we put the valuation report, floor plans, solicitor's report on title. We organise the debt, and that's all oven ready. And now, a lot of people think, right, great, sit back and relax, pull the income in. Far from it. We employ third-party managers. We've got two key managers who do work across the portfolio. But you can't leave it there. You've actually got to manage the managers, and that's been a cry of mine for many years. And that's been, Jim's my right-hand man's speciality. That's what he did at Bradford Property Trust. He's done it Man and Boy, collecting rent by cash in a satchel, going around the Ealing estate. So he's seen it all the way through. So he manages the managers, and they enjoy it because they've got somebody who actually knows what they're doing, or what to ask for, and what's reasonable. But the way I see it is we have a number of levers. One is the rent review, one is voids, repairs and maintenance. And you've got to maintain these properties, otherwise they will fall down and you will lose capital value. I had an example of a portfolio I took over from a previous fund manager, and to get their performance fee, they'd minimise their expenditure to generate the net income. And when I took it over for these funds, we actually couldn't let the properties, so they were so redundant and run down. I finally said, well, let's as a stopgap, get the students in. No, we've been letting them, the students, and they don't want to rent them anymore because they taped up all the vents. The shower was black, the cooking area was black, the floor started to melt because it's chipboard floors. It's a massive piece of expenditure for what the bit of rent they've saved over here. So you've got to look at that. And if you think about it, 1 week's void is 1.9%. So if you're hanging out to get a 2% rent increase, well, better not be void more than the week. And people don't think of it. People don't think about it in mathematical terms. So 2 weeks void, that's nearly 3.8%. You've got to be going. So really, you've got to be managing, realistic on rental growth, keeping tenants there, having no voids, or being realistic on what you get to get it let, because that's one of the biggest killers of performance is void.
Definitely. And I've been a private landlord, I know it's never set and forget. There's always ongoing management required on any property, whatever the tenant profile. I guess unless you have something very nice from a lease perspective. So it's important to know that that's when they make the decision. I guess from an investor viewpoint, it's not then just left. There is a team, I guess, from your side that is following up with those extra elements, making sure management, maintenance, refurbishment, everything's kind of taken care of.
We have a weekly void call, a monthly meeting with them, and they run our own reports, which we've developed over the number of years, actually, which will give us little clues as to what's going on. And I'll give you a little anecdote. Back in the day, we noticed when a flat was vacated and the new rent, we compare the new rent to the last rent, and that was down. But the ones which were rent reviews were up slightly. So what that told us was the rental market was going down. So we did a moratorium on any kind of rental growth, rent increases, kept all our tenants in place, and we outperformed all the funds in the residential funds in the UK just by being able to spot that and do that. And that's
close to the deals. That's where you can understand that.
And the information, you've got the information to your hand, so you can actually see and understand it. So that's what we did there.
So hands on for you guys, less or hands off, hopefully for the.
Very much so. And also we also flatten it a bit, because when you get because we will get lumpy costs where there's voids and there's no income coming in, or there's expenditure takes out the income of that month. But when we do it, we put a contingency in there. We collect the right operational costs every month, so there's no boiler repair. We're still collecting a piece for it, and so when it does happen, it's all smoothed out. So it actually is a nicer way of, more comfortable way of doing it.
Fantastic, brilliant. Thank you very much.